Hello, I'm Tan the Tambio TC channel. Sorry for the video quality. I will be doing a more legit playthrough of something later, as well as I want to do my verses and read-along videos. But I'm replaying Cyberpunk again because I want to give it another chance, and I think my mind's pretty much made up, but I'm still going to make a video anyways. I'm still going to play through it again. I have 46 hours in, by the way, for my original playthrough of the game. And I have, like, Outer Worlds, which I've been replaying to see if I feel any different about it, too. I have a lot of the same problems with Outer Worlds that I do Cyberpunk. Matter of fact, a lot of the things Salt Factory said in his Outer Worlds video, I contribute a lot of the same things to Cyberpunk. But, I just discovered another problem getting through the beginning again, and I just realized something when thinking about the rest of the game and the fact that it goes off. There are characters that intertwine, like Panam and Judy and all that, the main story, and you can do their side quest stuff, and you can do them on any playthrough. Same thing goes with the Asmongold. You remember he made a video titled him being impressed by the AI, and it was this weird discussion between characters. Anybody can just run into that. That is pretty much scripted as you walk by them at a certain point. So that's going to happen either way. But the thing I discovered, I thought interactions and the fact that the world doesn't react to you, not only because it's within the boundaries and restrictions of the cinematics and the particular levels attached to those main missions and stuff, or side missions even, but because the world's so empty and there's enemies so few in between. Arasaka is a really big deal too, a big problem into this factor too, and I've talked about how they don't show their oppression or how they're oppressing people or doing anything evil, but as I'm playing again, I'm realizing even bigger mistakes. So when people commented and said that it's the rest of the game that's better, not the beginning of the game, that's right and wrong. It's right because the beginning is garbage, but they're playing their full hand of cards, like in poker, their best hand out there, because they're setting up everything that is supposed to be happening after, because the beginning is important because it sets up for everything else. Yes, you have all these other characters, but it's mostly just romance characters. There's not many of them anyways, and they don't actually have a bearing or reaction onto the story other than after credit scene or during credit scenes where they talk about their feelings towards V or whatever. And even then, it's just full of a lot of fake stuff. Also, did they have to make ads of Idris Elba, this big-time actor, to say, the game's better now? Such cringe. Like, what the hell is that? They have to have this big-shot actor trying to... It feels manipulative, and I mean, ads are kind of like that anyways. But, I also finished Dead Space Remake. I finally got to play it. I'm going to be playing it through it again, as well as exploring it, because it's a little bit more explorable than the original. I think I have some things to say about that too. But as I'm playing Cyberpunk again, man, I realize how detrimental the villains are to the story. They actually really harm it, because not only do they're barely in the game, and the game is basically all tell, barely any show. They barely show, like, when certain YouTuber Manley Reviews talked about when they show you them killing off some of the these heads of the company or whatever in that one office, like, round table room, like they're King Arthur's knights or something, and they show them killing them off. That can only be seen through the corpo. Same with the the iguana. They do mention things like this. They talk about Arasaka so much, but once again, they don't show really all that much, and they play their hand of cards too early, so that the rest of the games, you see a lot of tell. There's also, ironically, other than the fact that NPCs spout exposition and drive you places instead of you driving them, like, it affects the gameplay. My friend showed me some crazy gameplay footage of somebody doing some crazy things in Cyberpunk, but that's nothing different. Like, not everybody's built the same way. They have to learn how to play better. And that person even probably took a lot of practice to get to that point. So not everybody plays that way. It's like the one YouTuber I watched that showed some really crazy footage, but you can tell he must have put so much practice and know the levels so well when showing some crazy fear and First Encounter Assault Recon and Mad Max. No, not Mad Max. Max Payne, sorry. Footage. That was awesome. But you can do that with just about any game if you're just this built different, really great player that knows everything about the mechanics. So that's nothing. But when I was talking about life in the game, there should probably be random encounters in the game too, as well as there needs to be like wandering thugs, the corporation actually out there beating people up and stuff. I see one mugging in your apartment building, but that's about it. Even in Mass Effect 2, you get to interact with the suicide mission at the end. Choose who you go, and they can potentially die if you choose wrong. Even Shepard can die. And you can even bring your romance partner up to your bedroom and cuddle with them or whatever. It's like, where the frick is that? You have the same amount of romance, except you can actually do that in Mass Effect and such. Same with even fricking Bethesda games. I can't believe it. You can bring them back to your outpost, your settlement, or your home to have them take care of the kids. They have a job you have for get money from them. They're part of the pay. Or fricking they cook you a meal or something. There's actually something there. They may not do the kind of stuff that Cyberpunk and such do, because they still don't do touchy, you know, that sexy stuff. I don't know how to word that. But it's just so... The biggest problem that I ran into again is so much tell, barely any show, and they talk so much about Arasaka, but we don't get to see them do anything truly evil, and in only certain situations or beginning of the game or whatever. Also, the other big problem I realized is two people. I don't know about the princess or the daughter of the emperor. I need to go more into that. But at least two people from working for Arasaka help you a good portion of the game. How are they showing how evil they are when at least two of the most important characters are helping you? Also, Atom Smasher, like, I don't get him. You need to watch the anime to understand him, I guess. Or even books, I don't know, or read a wiki page. It just kind of feels like the way they treated the Halo lore, honestly, or Destiny. It's like all the lore's on some other thing separate from the game. It's just so much tell, no show, barely any show. And when people were complaining about the whole there's no animals, like, they still need, like, wandering thugs and more flying air traffic or drones or something. They don't have enough of that. Even Watch Dogs had that. Like, what the hell? And the only reactions you get from people, you have to antagonize them, not the other way around. Only in scripted missions. I don't understand how this... If you like this game, fine. That is your choice. That is your decision, ironically. That is your choice. That is your decision if you like this game. But I do not understand how this game is so popular and overrated. It is overrated to me. I understand why... I thought The Witcher 3 was overrated, but I at least understand that. And that world feels more alive, because you got all these different creatures. I'm not just talking about wildlife like wolves or bears or anything like that. I'm talking all sorts of stuff. Thugs, freaking monsters, Leshens, all that kind of crap. At least that world has more monsters, and it doesn't feel like it was put there just because it was put there, and they won't attack you potentially if you get too close. It's kind of like when you see like 4 thugs or something in an alleyway or just standing by a house. You have to walk up to them or attack them in order for them to actually attack back. That's most of the encounters, other than whatever missions they throw at you. This game feels like it's trying to be a Naughty Dog game, but it's not doing even what Naughty Dog is good at. Even the worst Naughty Dog game, in my opinion, Last of Us Part 2, which was an unfocused, all-over-the-place mess, which Cyberpunk also is. it has at least some fun and more enemy encounters to give you in between, and great AI that actually give you an effort, gameplay. You actually get to do stuff, and those story actually contributes more. Also, the way they do exposition, they try to make the exposition sound like they're trying to be hip or cool or whatever. At least sometimes, like when you're talking to Dexter. But it's like, it's still exposition at the end of the day, most of it. Man, what the frick is this monstrosity of a game? I don't get why people like... I hate to bring BioWare and Bethesda again, but even those games, take Alduin and Sauron, even the Lord of the Rings, and Ganondorf, what Manley Reviews said about Ganondorf. Those villains show their presence, and they only have to do a little thing. Those games those games and book series or movie do tell a lot about the villains, like Sauron and Saruman and all that, but they also have enough show. You have this one scene in Skyrim with Delphine where you get to see Alduin raising a dragon from the dead. From that point on, the game lets you know, oh crap, that's why all the dragons are attacking randomly, whether it be a village, a city, or you just wandering the open world. It at least lets you know of Alduin's presence and that he is doing that. You don't get that in Cyberpunk because it doesn't really have random encounters. Most of the stuff is scripted. The only reactions you get are within the scripted parts, and that is mostly built for fake drama, just like you dying within a couple weeks. That is built for fake drama. I'm going to talk more in depth about Cyberpunk when I get through it. I might even have to separate it into parts because there might be a lot. I will only talk about gameplay when it matters, but I'm focusing mostly on the story this time. But I do feel like the gameplay is even affected due to those previously explained problems, as well as check out, if you want to, my other videos that talk more in depth, but I can't believe I'm just constantly finding more and more problems as I'm playing. And I don't even have to go looking for them, I'm just finding them. And it has nothing to do with glitches. I think because they fixed the game, it makes those problems stand out more. I actually think that was kind of a problem in of itself, ironically. So, I just never got some of the comments. They barely tell you much about the animal thing, like synthetic animal meat and stuff, and the animals being rare in general. They barely tell you. I mean, you can guess from maybe the world, just the fact that you just see no wildlife, but they only show in one or two, they only show you in one, I think it's the Nomad intro, and the intros really don't have a difference or make a difference or matter in the rest of the story. They played their best hand first, and that setup for that best hand messed up the rest of the game and its pacing and such, and it just focusing too much on telling rather than showing. There is so much talking that at times it actually gets brain-numbingly boring to me. It's like, okay, this is cool and all, but when I'm in a conversation in a Bethesda or Mass Effect game, I feel like I have more control here, and I know my choices actually make a difference, even if they're black and white or neutral. At least they make a difference. It kind of feels like it shares a lot of the same problems that Mass Effect Andromeda has, which has barely any real course of change. There's no real effect on your companions or anything. It's just very fake drama as well, and it doesn't really have much for choices. There's only so few times where choices play a part, which is the same with Cyberpunk, so few. I haven't really played the DLC. I have seen the DLC played. I don't really care to play it, honestly. I have a friend who's playing it, though, so he can probably tell me. But other than that, I don't know what else to say, and this is just my personal opinion, so just take it as that, once again, at the end of the day. but I have more to discuss with it, and, like, I just don't understand this game. Even when I'm saying that stuff, I'm just baffled. I don't know. It's so weird. It's so weird. Anyways, you have an awesome day nonetheless. I hope you enjoyed this. If not, okay. I don't know. But if so, you can like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments below. Hit the bell for notifications to keep up to date with my latest content and or videos. I'll see you next time. Sorry it's so dark, by the way. I'm probably gonna actually, I have a light set up now. Actually, oh wait, no, it's not on. It's not plugged in right now. But my light right here isn't working. Sadly, it's broken. I would have done this when it was sunnier out, but I had a doctor's appointment and a couple other things. So yeah, I'm gonna be. By the way, I finished Morrowind, so and I'm doing the expansion stuff. I'm almost done with Tribunal. I am apparently low level in security to unlock a certain door to progress, so I'm doing the Fighters Guild as well as all the other guild stuff in order to level up that and such. So I'll tell you what I think, and I'm going to be making a video talking about Morrowind as well as the rest of the Elder Scrolls games and what my overall thoughts between each of them are. So yeah, that's basically it. But I'm replaying a bunch of games. Cyberpunk is one of them. Keep that in mind. I'll probably make a parts series. Just know that I might not be able to show gameplay footage of the game. And I did start a new character. I think my original character that I started that has 46 hours is Street Kid, I think. And my new character is Nomad. I have looked at the beginning of Corpo, which is the only beginning that shows you that whole sequence of them killing people within their own company. But yeah, other than that, even when there's other moments for them to show their evil, they just don't show enough. It's mostly Johnny Silverhand telling you. And I just find Johnny and V just very unlikable. Even when they have neutral or nicer options, they seem just very boring and unlikable. So I did it with the first time through with the female voice actress or whatever. And now I'm doing the male actor for my next playthrough. So we'll see how that goes. Similar to how you would probably do Mass Effect. So, yeah, but I don't know if my mind's going to be changed. And I wouldn't say that I'm trying to change your mind, but like at this point, I'm kind of like the equivalent of Jack Films for Cyberpunk being my sniper wolf, where I'm talking a lot of crap about it and bringing it down a couple levels, trying to show it for the crap it is. At least in my perspective and opinion. But whatever. I don't know how to go about this because, yeah, it's a difficult thing to talk about, and people are going to at least be respectful in the comments. If you have criticisms or things to say, don't be a dickhead about it. You can say things without having to be a dickhead about it. So, there you go. Bye. Have an awesome day nonetheless.